The feeling that the time for doing something has passed was written, directed, and stars Joanna Arno, and it's clear from the beginning that though this is her world, her character is merely passing through it. Arno plays a 30-something millennial living in New York City. However, this version lacks the glitz and glamour of shows like Sex and the City, delivering an honesty akin to Girls while standing completely on its own. The feeling that the time for doing something has passed is rooted in an unforgiving reality that reminds the audience to laugh at moments of tragedy. Indie cinema has been corrupted in recent years, as has the concept of a truly low-budget movie. However, Arno's film reminds us that the industry desperately needs to uplift the voices of smaller artists early in their careers. It's these artists that offer the most unique perspectives and expose us to new worlds. Throughout the film, Arno takes us on a quiet odyssey that captures the search for real intimacy, as Anne struggles to act on her desires in all parts of her life. Joanna Arno understands what it's like to be alone. But she doesn't know what to do about it. Billed as a comedy, the feeling that the time for doing something has passed is undoubtedly hilarious, but the root of that comedy is the inescapable feeling of being alone. And has little dialogue for the first half of the film. She silently takes in the insults and compliments from those around her. Alan, Scott Cohen, and Chris, Babak Tofty, are the male leads in her life, and while they couldn't be more different, they each leave something to be desired. On paper, Chris is the person that life says she should end up with, but it's rarely that simple. And might be uncomfortable in many parts of her life, but she's willing to try anything to find what she's looking for, and doesn't pass judgment on her efforts, or anyone else's. Though the windows we get into Anne's life are few and far between, there's still enough to glean the trajectory of her life, and experience time passing as she does. The film is broken up into sections, all titled with the names of the men she's seeing. This point is driven home by how long it takes before we hear a character speak her name. This film is not for everyone, and the prolonged nudity and depictions of BDSM might not immediately convince every audience member that the story is for them. However, this window into someone's life is not different from any other depiction and exploration of sexuality on screen. Arno flawlessly normalizes the awkwardness and discomfort that can accompany sex while poking fun at the fact that no matter what an individual is into, it's always going to be foreign to someone else. It's not exactly about the acts themselves, but the sense of intimacy they create. While the men Anne briefly lets into her life play a prominent role in the film, her parents and sister, Alicia Reiner, shouldn't be overlooked as tremendous characters that indicate the life Anne is living when the cameras are off. Anne's parents are played by Arno's real mother and father, which lends itself to the documentary influences on the film. Arno has worked in autofiction and documentary in the past, which comes through and creates a strong blend of genre styles. Anne's time with her parents almost feels more intimate than when she takes her clothes off.